Hi, this is Edward again, coming to you from San Antonio, Texas. Just in my car, not driving, but just in my car here. And I know I've kept saying on the past few videos on YouTube that this will be my last video on timeshares. Well, I feel compelled to make another one. I'm hoping this will actually be my last one, because I just feel so strongly about just helping people out by not buying a timeshare. Now, that's the goal of this video. Let me just say from the start that if you are involved in a timeshare and you want to get out of it, then find a good, reliable timeshare exit company. Maybe even a lawyer who specializes in timeshares. But like I said, that's not the goal of this video. This video is to tell you that my wife and I were scammed 8 years ago as of this video. It's now 2021. It was 2013. We were scammed by one. 2013, it was Club Wyndham. Any timeshare company, as far as I'm concerned, they're all scams. But ours was Club Wyndham. So like I said, the goal of this video is to tell you not to buy a timeshare. It is the biggest scam, or one of the biggest scams out there today in the business world. And how they lure you in is, first of all, they don't tell you right from the start that it's a timeshare. They'll tell you it's a vacation package, a vacation club, terms like that. And they may even offer you a free gift, like, we'll offer you 3 days free vacation at this resort and just attend a 90-minute video. Well, let me tell you something right there. Those are two lies right there. It may be a free vacation, but you're lured into a timeshare presentation. And believe me, it will not last 90 minutes. They will have you there for several hours. And the way it was with us is that we were told there's a vacation plan. I think that's what it was. And then right in the middle of the presentation, during the video, that's when we found out it was a timeshare. And I wished then we had walked out. So, you're lured into it maybe by some type of offer. Could be a vacation plan or just something that sounds really good. Don't go for it. It's worth it just to walk away. But you're told it's a vacation plan or a club. You're not told right from the start that it's a timeshare. Of course not. They're trying to lure you in. And like I said, it's a lie that the presentation only last quote unquote 90 minutes. And believe me, these timeshare salesmen, they know what they're doing. They will wear you down. Like, let's say you're offered a timeshare. Okay, I'll go on the really high side, 120,000. Some of them have been offered for that. Or whether it's 120,000 or whether it starts at 50,000, they will wear you down and keep going lower and lower and lower and lower with the price until you wind up giving in, and you might be offered something that's something like sold at $8,000 or $9,000. They're trained to do that. And the reason I put this video out there again is because I looked at a video clip on YouTube, and it was just a short clip about a guy who was training people to sell timeshares, except he had it where he says, "What are you here for?" And you could hear the people chanting, "To save lives." They brainwash these people, okay? These salesmen. They're brainwashed to think that. They're brainwashed to think that they save lives because you have to take a vacation or you're more prone to get a heart attack. That you're just like a doctor or a nurse in helping to save lives. Let me tell you something. That's all brainwashing. How is scamming people and financing a vacation, that you may or may not take, how is that saving lives? That's adding stress to people. I think you're killing lives. So their brain, just know that these high pressure salesmen are brainwashed to think that, oh, we're doing you good, when they're luring you into financing a vacation that you could do far better on your own with planning a vacation. You know, you can make the phone calls and all that, or even go online. Just be careful of not getting scammed. But the point is that you can do all the work and getting a good vacation, and then, paying a fraction of the cost of what a timeshare is. So let me just say right from the start that timeshares are a scam. You're promised so much and given so little. The way it works is that you pay, of course, most of the time it's financed. You have maintenance fees, and they tell you that, oh, these maintenance fees never go up, when the fact is they do. And they look at it too that, now some of them may tell you that a timeshare will expire when you die. That's a lie. Or even if they tell you that timeshares continue and passed on to your children, they look at it as a good thing. That, oh, your children can get this timeshare when you die. Is that really a good thing? Let's put it this way. Let's say you've had a timeshare for a long time and you paid it off. But what are your maintenance fees like right now? Do you want your children really to be stuck with maintenance fees when you die? A maintenance fee that may have started out, maybe it's, let's just say for argument's sake, $600 to start with, and now 20 years later, your maintenance fee is $4,000 a year. Do you really want your children stuck with that? Of course, a timeshare seller will tell you, well, you're looking at it as a gift. How is a $4,000 maintenance fee a gift when your children may not want that? And then they're stuck with the timeshare because they can't sell it. And believe me, whether you own a timeshare or not, and it's paid for and you're just paying the maintenance fees, you can't sell the thing. You simply can't sell it. Nobody wants them. So, again, don't buy a timeshare no matter what you're offered, okay? It is not worth it. Years ago, I remember seeing a commercial for Rolaids that said, how do you spell relief? And they would say, Rolaids. Well, let me put it to you this way. How do you spell timeshare? SCAM. Scam. Okay? So don't buy a timeshare, because you can do your own vacation planning at a fraction of the cost. And here are some other lies about a timeshare. Let's say you were offered a high amount, and you say, well, I'm not going to finance $50,000. You're talked all the way down to $8,000 or $9,000. Well, then you're going to get a resort that is an economy suite that isn't nearly as nice. And even if you buy into a really expensive one, you could be going to a resort that was never upgraded and is just not as good as what the demonstration shows you. I mean, you're given, with the demonstration ones, you're shown, okay, this is what you get, and you might not. You get one that's really scummy, not nearly as nice. And then on top of that, with timeshares, if you're in one, and let's say you buy one and you say, oh, there's a timeshare meeting. Well, guess what? You're going to be sucked into buying another one. And it's not like you're financed for one timeshare. You're now financing two different timeshares, two different plans. And the thing is, too, is that you have what you call points when you get a timeshare. You might be told they're worth $1, a point, when really, in reality, they may only be worth 20 points. So you wind up using the points really quickly, and then you have to wind up maybe paying for an airfare, or if you're driving, paying for gas anyway. And if you are flying and then you have to get a rental car, well, then you're paying for that. So it's the most expensive way to go on vacation. It's not saving money. It's the most expensive. So please, I urge you, do not buy a timeshare. And let me say this to, if you're a timeshare agent, a seller, get out of the business. You're lying to people and just pushing them to buy something when they really don't want to. Why is it that, in all honesty, these contracts are so long, and that the people you're trying to scam, why are they not allowed to take that contract home and really read it over? And because you know that if they really looked it over, they wouldn't buy it. They'd be like, no way. So they're pressured into, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. And they don't even get a chance to look over the contract. Because you know they would walk away. Well, I'm here to tell you, if you're a timeshare seller, get out of the business. Here's how you can save lives. Why don't you be a part of a company or start your own company and getting people out of timeshares? Start your own timeshare exit team. That's how you can really save lives. And here's another way to save lives. I've said it already. Don't buy a timeshare. That's how you can save lives. Now, I'm only one person here. And I don't have the power to shut down timeshares. But I'm here to do my part and to telling you, do not buy a timeshare. And if you're watching this video and you've done your own video on telling people not to buy timeshares, thank you so much. We're only one person, few people, but if you put enough videos out there, no, you're not going to be able to shut down timeshares. But if you just prevent one person from getting scammed by a timeshare, you're doing great. And like I said, that's my goal here. Don't buy a timeshare, because these high-pressure salesmen are brainwashed and think they're doing good when really they're not. I see really no benefit of a timeshare. Even if you make a lot of money, it's simply not worth it. You know, believe me, if I were a millionaire, at least I hope I would do this. If I were a millionaire, I would look for ways to be practical. You know, find a nice place, but something that's very practical, you know. And here's the thing too about timeshares. They look at it that, you know, you may have 3 or 4 rooms. Your children are going to watch television in one room. You could be in another. Let me tell you something. Your children aren't going to remember you for that. If you're a halfway decent parent, and your children are going to remember the time you spent with them. It might have been time reading a book, taking them to the park, you know, or taking them to maybe a favorite restaurant for their birthday. And then just doing stuff together, you know. What I remember growing up is that I went camping with my mom and dad. And I just remember the little things, you know, at the campground. Now, granted, it was a campground that was a little more luxurious. It had electricity and water and all that. So it wasn't the, you know, roughing it camping. But it was still a lot of fun. But just the little things we did, you know, after supper. It wasn't like we all just scattered. It's like, nope, let's all pitch in, wash the dishes, you know, and then do other stuff, you know. And you might want to just hang out with if you're a teenager, hang out with your friends in the evening or whatever. But the point is, or just spend time with family. But the point is, your children are going to remember you for what you did for them. And that is spending time with them, you know, teaching them right from wrong, giving them responsibilities. Believe me, those are the things I remember when I grew up and I went camping with my mom and dad. You know, I just treasure that so much. Your children aren't going to remember like, wow, mom and dad spent so much on me. We went to all these timeshares and I was able to watch my own video in my own room. No. Your children will remember what you did together. So I hope this helps. I know it's not a real thorough presentation of a video, but please, I urge you, if you're seeing this video, please do not get a timeshare. They're nothing but scams. They're pressuring you into financing something that you never planned for. like I said, whether you're paying $50,000 or you were talked down to $8,000 or lower, at the end of the day, you're financing it. And you're stuck with it for the rest of your life. And if you have children, it passes on to them. There's simply not a way out of it unless you see a timeshare lawyer who's a specialist in timeshares or a reliable timeshare exit team. So let's put it this way. Don't even go for a timeshare to begin with. Stay away from it. Forget the offers they lure you into, because that's how they get you. And like I said, I hope this video helps you. Know that my wife and I were involved in one years ago. Now, I think in a previous video, I did mention how we got out of it. It was an unusual way. And here's the thing I want to say, that if you're involved in a timeshare, make sure you check with the timeshare exit team about if you have a balance. What happens to that balance? Okay? Make sure that the balance is canceled. Because the timeshare exit team we went with, and I'll be honest, I can't remember the name of the team. I paid them, and it was, not too terribly expensive, but it was money wasted in that all they did was write letters for me, and I submitted them. And then one day I couldn't log on to the Club Wyndham membership. And I called the company and said, well, okay, your timeshare was canceled. Only to find out I had a remaining balance. And I was like, great. So I just left it alone for a while until my wife and I had to consolidate some other debt. And we went with Clear One Advantage. And Clear One Advantage said, well, you have this outstanding debt with Club Wyndham. And I really didn't want to bother with it, but they said, no, you need to get this paid. Now, in our case, it worked out with a settlement where we owed a fraction of what we would have had to pay with Club Wyndham. They did a settlement. I can't remember what our balance was. I'm going to say it was $20,000 at the time. And they wound up doing a settlement for about $4,500. So I'm not saying that's always the best way to go. That's what we did. It did work for us. I'm not saying it works for everybody. But like I said, this video, the goal is please, I beg you, do not go for a timeshare to begin with. Save yourself the time and heartache, because believe me, it's not 90 minutes that you're in there. You have a whole day wasted that you can never get back. Hope this helps. I appreciate any comments below. And you have yourself a blessed day.